Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Two Red Gringos Amateur Announcing. I'm your host, as always, Phil Bakke, and this is another edition of alternate commentary that provides you with an alternative to the big networks like Fox, like we see today. This is exactly what it sounds like if you're finding us for the first time. I do my best to bring you an excited fan's reaction, someone who is just watching the game and describing the action for you. Today we're bringing you Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich in what is the first game in the Bundesliga's return from their winter break, and what a game it should be. Well, we know that Heiko Herrlich, as he greets Jupp Heynckes on the touchline, the manager who has guided Leverkusen into fourth in the Bundesliga and within 2 points of second place, would not cower in front of Bayern Munich, but he was a bit more headstrong in his pre-match comments yesterday. He said, quote, "Bayern Munich will certainly find it unpleasant to play here. The Bay Arena, the setting for this opener to the second half of the Bundesliga season, will look to prove an inhospitable visit for the Bavarian club, who are 11 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga and look set to cruise to a 6th straight title. So far, it hasn't been kind to anyone but Leverkusen, who are unbeaten at home this season. They'll have to slow down Bayern and find a way around them, as the giants of the Bundesliga are the top scorers and the top defense, having scored 37 goals and allowed just 11. Sandro Wagner, who finds himself on the bench today, joined Bayern this month from Hoffenheim and was rumored to be starting, but is not. Robert Lewandowski has a poor scoring record against Leverkusen, only 3 goals ever against them, and so Thomas Muller is preferred today. On the other side of the ball, the most prolific German in the league, Kevin Volland, will look to immediately extend his goal-scoring record against the winter champions. He'll have extra incentive facing Bayern, as he started his club career at their crosstown rivals 1860 Munich, as did the Bender brothers, who both start today for Bayern. And while Die Löwen are currently in the regional Liga, their favorite son can do some damage to their big brother. Let's talk through lineups. Kickoff has happened, so let's talk through lineups very, very briefly. For the home side, Leverkusen, who are immediately onto the attack, potentially, but Bayern snuffed that out. Bayer Leverkusen start with Bernd Leno in goal. Wendell, Sven Bender, Jonathan Tah, and Karim Bellarabi across the back four. They play a midfield 2 of Lars Bender and Dominic Kor. 3 attacking midfielders, Leon Bailey, the Jamaican winger, on the left, Julian Brandt in the center, and Kai Havertz on the right. Kevin Volland leads the line. As I said, the top-scoring German in the Bundesliga, tied with Mark Uth, who recently transferred from Hoffenheim to Schalke in the January window. On Bayern's side, Sven Ulrich starts in goal with the injury to Manuel Neuer still causing problems for the German international, as a early foul there from Volland on Rafinha. Rafinha sporting a bleach blonde haircut today, but it'll be David Alaba, Jerome Boateng, Nicolas Surla, and Rafinha across that back line for Bayern that has only allowed 11 goals in the Bundesliga. Mats Hummels misses out through injury. Javi Martinez and Arturo Vidal in the center of the park. James Rodriguez also forming a midfield 3. Frank Ribery, Thomas Muller, and Arjen Robben across the front. And they will be expected to carry the goal-scoring burden for the winter champions, as they're known. They were top of the league entering the winter break for the Bundesliga, and it will be a challenge for Leverkusen, but they have had great form at home. So we are underway here. About 2 minutes and 30 seconds in as Volland's onto the ball, but ball's cut out by Boateng. Bayern struggling to get out, though, and Bailey dispossesses Robben. Rafinha does well defensively, held in by Wendell, and then Throw goes Bayern's way. Very high energy start to the game. Leverkusen not sitting back. They are pressing Bayern high. They are trying to take advantage. I think they want to catch Bayern early here because they know the longer this game goes on, the more likely Bayern are to break them down. Is that ball from Martinez back to Rafinha? Not what the Spaniard intended. Bayern back on the ball, though, and a nice little move here. Sees Rabble put through by Muller. Rabble one-on-one with Ta, trying to cut onto that left foot. He does find Ribery on the left, but the shot is blocked by Bellarabi, and then Rodriguez fouled, and Bellarabi has committed the foul. Bellarabi finding himself in that right back position for Leverkusen. He was mostly an attacking player in the past, but he has been useful tracking back, and Robin did really well to find Ribery. It was a loose initial touch. The volley in the end blocked off by Bellarabi really well. Ribery with some appeals for a handball, but Bellarabi just clipping James Rodriguez and right on the edge of the area. And immediately, just 4 minutes in, Bayern have a set piece here that they'll try to capitalize on. It was a set piece against Dortmund right before the winter break that sent Bayern into the quarterfinals of the DFB Pokal, and that ball was in towards Martinez, and now Brandt running away with it. He has Bailey to his left. Bellarabi motoring forward. It is Bailey. Bailey can't get it out of his feet, and he's dispossessed by Rafinha. That was a really good chance for Leverkusen, and they're unable to capitalize on the counter off of that set piece for Bayern. Vidal playing himself into some trouble, though, and Rafinha finally able to boot it clear. Header by Muller. Found Alaba, and a little ricochet, little pinball in the center of the park leads to Bayern possession. Played out of the back by Ulrich. Leverkusen pressing very high. Volin putting Sula under pressure. Thought he had won possession. Throw goes Bayern's way. Did look from that angle, from that camera angle, that Volin had played it off of the German center back, the heir apparent to the throne of Mats Hummels, who, as I said in the pre-match, is out injured. Leverkusen working the ball all the way back to Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno had a performance right before the winter break against Wolfsburg. Oh, but now some loose possession. Ta has played it to the feet of Vidal. Luckily, his partner in defense, Van Bender, was tracking back, and Leverkusen trying to counter again. Bellarabi steaming down the right. Him and Havertz really trying to cause problems for Bayern's defense, but the ball from Brandt looking for Leon Bailey, unable to find the Jamaican winger, and Bayern attempting to play out from the back again. It only goes as far as Ta. Leverkusen staying in possession. Bellarabi would have been offside if he had played that ball. And Alaba able to take his time. Bayern definitely in a little bit of discomfort in the early stages. Leverkusen really putting the leaders under pressure here, but they're always dangerous, and Robin and Rodriguez have linked up. Rodriguez sprays the ball out to the left to Ribery. Alaba's on the overlap. Ribery plays it infield for Vidal. And the return ball looking for Ribery. Ribery claiming he was blocked off unfairly. Never giving a penalty for that. Ribery unable to latch on to the return ball from Vidal. Vidal had options, but tried to play the give and go with the experienced French winger. I choose experienced because it's nicer than saying old. Fun fact for those watching, Franck Ribery has yet to record an assist or a goal in the Bundesliga this season. He has 1 goal and 1 assist in the DFB Pokal, the German Cup. But he does not have any in the Bundesliga. He'll certainly be looking to improve on that today, as Kai Havertz putting Alaba under pressure, and then Bellarabi fouled by Alaba. The Austrian defender took the same route as Sandro Wagner did to the club, joining from Hoffenheim. But obviously quite a few years earlier, Alaba joining from Hoffenheim in 2011. And he's been at Bayern for the last 7 years. This ball's up for grabs, and Havertz able to beat Alaba to it. Havertz has options infield, finds Volland, who tries to play in Brandt, but it's cut out by Boateng. Ta back in possession, sprays the ball wide, looking for Bailey. Bailey and Rafinha one-on-one. Rafinha able to play it back to his keeper. And then Rafinha finally does clear. Flicked header here may have Bayern in business. Rodriguez brought down off the ball. Advantage played, and eventually the foul is given. Rodriguez clipped, and the referee has some thinking to do. It looks like it'll be at least a talking to, but we'll see. It was Lars Bender. Both of the Bender brothers, obviously, with history against Munich. They started their club careers at 1860 Munich, the little brother. And you can see Lars Bender just pulled back Rodriguez there to stop the counter. Bayern in possession. They opt to play that corner, or the free kick, short, and then Volland fouls Martinez. And just like that, we have our first yellow card of the game for Kevin Volland. Volland not amused by Martinez writhing on the ground. We'll take a look at the challenge. It is late, and he does put his studs right across Martinez's ankle. It will definitely be a sore one for the Spanish international, Javi Martinez, who joined Bayern from Bilbao. It was a blockbuster transfer at the time, but it definitely, he doesn't have the feel of a blockbuster player anymore. Certainly when he joined, it was an exciting transfer. See Arturo Vidal. The Chilean central midfielder has been such a spark plug, but it has been rumored recently that he may be towards the end of his Bayern career, as Leverkusen boot this one deep. Looking for Havertz, may find Volland. It's brought down in the end by Lars Bender, who finds Bellarabi. Back to Ta. Leverkusen just looking to settle possession a little bit. They don't mind playing end to end, certainly, but they don't want to gift possession, as Wendell was looking for a through ball to Havertz there. Eventually, ball brought down by Bellarabi, getting down the right, beating Ribery, but Ribery does block the cross in, and it will be a throw Leverkusen's way. Jupp Heynckes pictured. Jupp Heynckes has joined Bayern in a caretaker role. He said it will not be more. He left retirement for this. He said he will not be joining on a permanent basis, and Bayern are on the break. Ribery down the left, having been found by Rabble. James Rodriguez on the overlap, but Bernd Leno very smart to the cross, the floated cross, too near the Leverkusen keeper. Everyone on the pitch had thought Martinez had fouled Havertz there, but as they try to play out of defense, but Bayern in possession and no foul given. Martinez then looking for a searching ball, but it's out for a throw. Havertz basically tripped over his own feet, and no foul given by the referee. Rightly so. Leverkusen look long. Volland unable to latch on. It's put back in to the arms of Bernd Leno by Jerome Boateng. Long throw finds Bellarabi down the right. Bellarabi, certainly not the conventional right back. Very attacking. Finds Havertz and then is brought down by Vidal. Bellarabi earning that free kick. Referee at the center of things so far. Chip ball through, looking for Julian Brandt. Does come down for Havertz, but his pass through is way overhit and out the back for a Bayern goal kick, which Ulrich will take with pleasure. Bayern attempting to play out from the back again, only finding Bellarabi though with a longer pass. Bender trying to get around Vidal and can't. Nice little flick from Rodriguez finds Martinez. The ball eventually finds its way back to Rodriguez. Finds the right ball out to Ribery, who's brought down in the end by Bellarabi, and a yellow card's coming out again. It was a tough tackle from Bellarabi. He'll need to be careful here. He's claiming he got the ball. He is going to be booked, though. He went in hard on the Bayern winger. It'll take a second look to see if this was a good decision. I genuinely, as I saw it in real time, it looked a good challenge. Ribery took a poor touch, dallied on the ball, but Bellarabi goes in, studs up. He doesn't make a lot of contact. It's definitely an attacker's challenge, and you can see why Bellarabi is, not a natural right back. He's claiming he got the ball, but he didn't get much of it, that's for sure. Bellarabi booked, and now 2 Leverkusen players on a yellow card here. 15 minutes gone. And if they're not careful, this could become a very one-sided affair if they go down to 10 men. It's the last thing Leverkusen will want. James Rodriguez stands over the free kick, and he'll definitely look to get this into the box. Floated in. Martinez leaps for it. It comes for Alaba. For Vidal to strike, saved by Leno. Vidal was trying to hit the cross hard and get it to his teammate sitting on the far post. I believe it was Sula who had actually drifted to the far post. Sula and Muller. He's trying to just drill it in for Muller to get a tap in, and Muller claps in appreciation. It is a corner to Bayern. Floated in. Vidal with the header, but Leno saves. Vidal had gotten free in the box, but now an immediate counterattack. It's Bailey. He's gone past Ribery. Bailey to shoot, deflected behind by Alaba, and it will be a Leverkusen corner now. End-to-end stuff here at the Bayern Arena. Fantastic start to the game in the first 15 minutes. It's been nothing but attack after attack. And now Leverkusen with a chance in the early stages to snatch a goal against the Bavarian Giants, Bayern. Driven into the far post, and it was Kor who got free and headed just wide. Oh, it was a good header too, and Ulrich was beaten all ends up. Leverkusen may live to rue that chance. Goal kick to Bayern, and Kor just missing the inside of Ulrich's right-hand post. You can see early Bayern are winning more of the possession, but also they're challenging far more effectively than Leverkusen. Leverkusen only winning 35% of their duels so far. And there's another duel won by Martinez against Brandt. Robin looking for Vidal. Bayern playing out from their own half, but Bender does the cleaning up. Leverkusen back in possession. Certainly not the most one-sided game of possession that you'll ever see. 60-40, essentially the split. Bayern normally do dominate possession. They're not strangers to that. They're no strangers to love, you might say. But Leverkusen looking to spoil that possession. Havertz playing the ball off Sula. It is a Leverkusen throw. Bellarabi looking at his options. Opts for Bender infield. Havertz attempts to chest it down for Volland, but can't. Leverkusen do hold it in, but the pass in the end is errant from Bender out wide. Bender wearing and that's Lars Bender, wearing the captain's armband today. Bayern restart with a throw. Some nice little possession in their own half. Some cute one-touch passing, but all it does is get Rafinha in possession, and then he plays it back to Ulrich to boot long. Headed down, collected by Brandt. Brandt plays it infield. It's Dominic Kor. Thought he was brought down, but Bailey looks to beat Rafinha and does with a nice touch. Bailey looking for the cross in towards Volland. Blocked by Boateng. Good defending from the German defender. Leon Bailey looking all the way back to Ta. Ta switching play to the right. Bellarabi looking to take his man on. Does nutmeg Ribery quite cutely, but no advantage gained. Plays it back to Havertz. And Leverkusen will cycle again. They're looking for a way through this Bayern defense, which has been staunch this whole season. Only 11 goals conceded the entire Bundesliga season so far. Ball played infield towards Wendell, who had ventured forward. But Leverkusen unable to find a way through. Loose header from Ribery, but it does find Alaba. Bender, though, tracking back again and plays the ball all the way back to his goalkeeper, Leno. Leverkusen are definitely up for this, as Vidal then fouls Bender just by jumping over him. And Bellarabi looks to take. Leverkusen definitely not backing down from the challenge today. It's a welcome sight. They're going right for Bayern here. They're just missing that final ball so far, and they're actually a wayward header shy of leading this game. They have created the one better chance. Bailey looks to take Rafinha on again and does. Bailey looks really up for this down the left for Leverkusen. Bailey looks infield to Kor. Kor out for Wendell. Wendell looked to chip the ball through for Bailey again, but it was cut out by Robin, who's tracking back. And then Rafinha able to find Boateng, who boots it clear, searching for Muller. Muller unable to win the ball, though. Certainly not the aerial target that Robert Lewandowski is in his time in that number 9 position. Oh, a loose header here by Robin, and eventually it is Sula who fouls. I believe it was Volland. Yeah, Volland challenging for that ball, and Sula just went straight through the back of him and then held him, kept him from reaching the ball. So it is a foul given against Niklas Sula. Sula joining from Hoffenheim last summer. Young defender, looks to be the future for the German national team, but this ball is chipped forward for Volland. Volland tries to lay it off to Brandt. Brandt out to Bailey. Bailey looking for the cross in towards Bender, who had got forward, but Vidal was back, did his defensive duty, and Rafinha does clear. Now a loose pass cut out by Havertz, but unable to be exploited. Kai Havertz, only 18 in this Leverkusen side, and he is a youth product of Leverkusen. Oh, but Bayern might be in here. Wendell trying to get back. Muller looking infield, couldn't find the right pass, and it's cut out by Bender. Bayern do have a throw, and they're trying to keep the tempo up. This is one of the few forays into the Leverkusen half in the last 5 or so minutes. But they are very dangerous. Bellarabi trying to track that crossfield ball down, but cannot. Bellarabi is able to clear eventually, and Sula will track back, get that ball under control, and look to restart. From the back line, Vidal with a good searching ball out for Alaba, who's gotten down the left wing. He's cut inside of Bellarabi. A nice 1-2. Alaba with the cross, cut out by Bender, only as far as Ribery, but Ribery unable to take advantage. Sula keeps it in for Bayern. Eventually Havertz tries to clear, can't do it. Bayern back in possession. It's Sula again. Loads of action in this opening 25 minutes. Bayern far from dominant, but they are always dangerous. Ribery, he has Alaba. Alaba's in behind. The cross beat away by Bernd Leno. It's come for Rodriguez to strike, but just wide. James Rodriguez with a venomous left-footed strike. But it is just wide of Bernd Leno's goal. Leno pushed it back into the danger area, and as he ran onto it, he looked certain to deposit it into the Leverkusen net. But it was hit with too much swerve with the outside of his boot, and it did curl just wide in the end. James Rodriguez very nearly adding to his total. He only has 2 goals and 3 assists this season. I'm sure Bayern fans would have liked to see a bit more in terms of production, but Bayern back in possession again. Muller finding Rodriguez. He sprays the ball wide for Robin. Robin has Rafinha on the overlap, but Robin goes it alone, then finds Rafinha. Rafinha with a chance to cross now. Cleared unconvincingly by Ta, and it is behind for a Bayern corner. Rafinha marauding down that right wing for Bayern. 32-year-old Brazilian. Has been at Bayern for a while, but it wasn't his first stint in the Bundesliga, as Rodriguez now delivers this cross in. It beats the first man, but not the second. Leverkusen get it just clear. Vidal to curl one. Leno saves unconvincingly. It's come from Muller. Muller maybe takes a loose touch and then brings down Volland. Muller called for a foul, and now he'll be booked for his sliding challenge on Kevin Volland. Well, there was all types of opportunities. Vidal took the initial shot, and it's interesting because both Bayern players were offside. As Martinez headed that back down, the linesman's flag stayed down. Muller and Martinez were both offside, and it should have been flagged by the linesman, but in the end it was Volland who attempted to dribble out wide, and Muller slid in, didn't get any of the ball, and got all of the man, and is booked for his trouble. 26 and a half minutes gone now, and Leno will look to restart from the goal kick from the free kick in his own area. Forward for Havertz, flicked on, cleared in the end by Alaba. Headed back towards his own goal by Bender, Lars Bender. Ta has to put it into touch, but it was deflected off a Bayern player. You see Leverkusen's board pictured now. Would have been happy with from about minute 15 to minute 25, but the last couple of minutes have seen Leverkusen put under pressure by Bayern. Bellarabi has to play it back to his goalkeeper. Alaba chasing. Alaba willing to run forward. Leverkusen do bring it down. Havertz does well to win possession. And now it's with Bailey. Bailey looking to switch all the way to Havertz. Havertz free in the area. He brings it down. It's cut out by Rodriguez and then volleyed over by Dominic Kor. It was Lars Bender who took the shot on in the end. Leon Bailey played a wonderful crossfield ball to Kai Havertz. A more deft touch on the right-hand side was needed from the youngster. If he brings that down, he's got a really, really good shooting opportunity. And now the long ball may put Bayern in business, but Wendell tracks back with his normal assuredness, and he's able to find Dominic Kor in that midfield. Bailey, who's dropped a little bit back. Bailey, an absolute revelation for Leverkusen in the first half of the season with his 6 goals from that left wing position. His journey to European football has been one that not many have taken. He started in Jamaica, his native country and birthplace. After some youth time in Jamaica, he made the leap, went to Austria, continued his youth career in Austria, got his real first youth shot with Trenčín in Slovakia. And after Trenčín moved to KRC Genk in Belgium. And in Belgium, it was where he got his real first team opportunity, really proved himself. And the 20-year-old Jamaican winger has really burst onto the scene here in the Bundesliga. You can see Bayern's bench pictured there, just to go briefly over the benches to show what reinforcements the squads have. It's Tom Stark, Sandro Wagner, the new signing for Bayern. As Bayern now do look to get forward, and will Rodriguez get onto this? No, he won't. Tah beats him to it. Jonathan Tah doing well so far, and a nice little touch into Bellarabi to clear. It only goes to Vidal, though. Boateng with a long ball forward, cut out by Tah again. Has done well, and now Lars Bender with a nice little drop of the shoulder just to give Muller the slip. Finds Bailey out wide. Bailey surveying his options, opts for Brandt infield, but a safer pass back to the defense is chosen instead, and now Havertz able to play the ball out wide for Bellarabi. Bellarabi looking to cross. This may come to anyone. It's come to Brandt in the area, but it's cut out by Vidal. Bailey onto it. Bailey looking to drive a pass across the area, and it's cut out by Rodriguez tracking back, and Ribery's running away with it. Ribery challenged by Bellarabi tracking back. Have to remember the booked players for both Leverkusen and Bayern. As I was saying, for Bayern's bench, Sandro Wagner, the new signing from Hoffenheim, starts on the bench. It was rumored that he was going to start. Jupp Heynckes certainly made it sound like he would. It's now Robin on the ball. He beats Bailey. He's got Muller infield. Muller tries a cute flick back to Rafinha, but it's cut out by Leverkusen. It is only a Bayern corner, though. Juan Bernat also starts on the bench. Sebastian Rudy, you can see it came off a Leverkusen foot last, and it will be a corner. Corentin Tolisso, Kingsley Coman, and Joshua Kimmich, 3 very exciting players, all on the bench for Bayern as they opt for a more experienced side. Put in for Vidal by Robin, and it's put in by Javi Martinez. He reacted to the rebound first, and Javi Martinez gives the Bundesliga leaders the lead here in Leverkusen. Jupp Heynckes will be pleased. It was a little bit of a fortunate bounce that it came to Martinez. It was a free header from Vidal that was blocked initially by Bender, but then as he looked to collect, Brandt missed the initial header. It was blocked by Bender. It fell for Martinez, who dispatched it neatly into the Leverkusen net, and Bayern do have a lead. They have not played the best half so far. Certainly not their favorite 30 minutes of football that they'll remember this season. And it is Javi Martinez's first goal of this Bundesliga campaign. See Sven Bender pictured. It was him who, in the end, Muller basically, I mean, for those who watch basketball, Muller more or less picked Bender to keep him from reaching that ball back out to Martinez. And now Leverkusen will have some chasing to do. Leverkusen have been dangerous in this first half, though, and a lot of it's come through Bailey, who did beat his man but can't find his target with the pass. Leverkusen do remain in possession. Bellarabi infield for Bender. Bender winning that ball. A long shot from Dominic Kor. Well wide. Will be away end. As we apparently there's some kind of rodent, like a mouse or something, on the pitch at the Bayern Arena. So it is 1-0 Bayern. You can see the away supporters in full voice following the goal by Javi Martinez, one of the least likely scorers on the pitch. And with about 10 minutes to go in the first half, Bayern do get that important first goal. Leverkusen have played some good football. There's no denying that. They've done well in parts, but it was just pure reaction from Martinez and the ability to keep a calm head when the moment presented itself. It's really only Bayern's only real chance of the half, and they've dispatched it, and well, that's why they're leaders, let's face it. That is why they have won the title 5 years in a row. And it's why they'll likely win it a sixth. And Bayern may be in here. They've won possession. It's come to Robben. Robben cuts it back for Muller. They've slowed the attack down here. Will that cost them? Robben crosses. It's flicked on. Rodriguez was waiting for it. Rodriguez collects. And then in the end, I believe it is a goal kick. Ribery unable to get past his man. Take another look at the goal. Brandt misses the header. Vidal doesn't. And as Sven Bender attempted to get to that from Martinez, he could not. Martinez with a accomplished finish in the end to give Bayern the lead. 36 minutes gone. Heiko Herrlich bemused at his team's luck. They've played really well. They have actually probably created the better chances, and it was a header just wide from a set piece by Dominic Kor that could have given Leverkusen the lead, but alas, this is where we're at, and Bayern grabbing that all-important first goal. Give them a little bit of ability to just absorb some pressure from Leverkusen. They've done really well all season. That's the 38th goal of Bayern's Bundesliga campaign, and they've only allowed 11. So some kind of form from the champions and the leaders. Bayern actually taking a license to press a little bit higher up the field, put Leverkusen under pressure. They can't get out of their own half. Now Bayern back in possession, and will Leverkusen get caught up the field here? Ribery and Rodriguez exchanging passes. Ribery's cross looking for Robben, who is standing on the center circle. Errant is cleared behind by Bender. Looked to be kept in. Thought it was kept in by Leno, but it is ruled a corner. Rodriguez will take it for Bayern. Can they capitalize from another set piece? Rodriguez to cross. It's another great cross, and it's headed down by Martinez again, the goal scorer, but well wide. Well, it could have gone anywhere. And if there would have been anyone at that far post, all it would have taken was a touch. Martinez just directing the header a bit wide. Leno looking for Bailey with the long ball. Bailey thought he was undercut by Rafinha, but the referee didn't see anything wrong with it. Rafinha directed his throw in towards Muller. Muller and Robin are exchanging positions kind of freely. Muller dropping off to the right and Robin cutting inside as just try to confuse this Leverkusen backline a little bit. Rodriguez with a chance to chip the ball in, chested down and behind by Wendell, and it will be another corner for Bayern. Bernd Leno tried to keep that from going behind, but couldn't, and Robin will look to deliver this corner, the outswinger with his left foot. It was met in the end. It might come for Vidal, but Ta clears behind, and it will be another corner. Leverkusen really just praying for halftime at this point. They're being completely dominated by Bayern in these last about 15 minutes. James to take. Chips it into the center. Sula met it, and it was well wide. He really should have done better. But Leverkusen cannot be this loose from set pieces and expect to walk away with anything. The execution of the set piece from start to finish was brilliant from Bayern. It met the head of Sula, and you would have expected him to do better from there. Leno boots long, just looking to relieve some pressure. Martinez wins the header. Martinez has played really well ever since he got the goal. You can just tell his confidence is soaring. Bayern able to get it back to Ulrich to boot long for Robin. Wendell wins the header, but Rafinha wins the subsequent one. The Bender brothers exchanging passes there, and Leverkusen in the end coming out with possession, and Robin fouls Wendell off the ball. Remains to be seen if the referee is going to take any action here. He's already booked 3 players. Muller, Voland, and Bellarabi, and it was late. It was late from Robin, and you can kind of tell the way he raises his hand that it's so card there for no card for Robin, not booked in the aftermath of that challenge, but just a reminder that Kevin Volland and Karim Bellarabi are both booked for Leverkusen. Thomas Muller, the only card-carrying member of Bayern, as we approach the end of the second half. 41 minutes gone, 1-0 Bayern. It was Javi Martinez that gave the leaders the lead. Nice pass infield for Rodriguez. Sprayed out wide to Alaba. Alaba flicks it forward. Ribery looking to get past Bellarabi but can't. Havertz and Bender unable to keep Alaba from finding Rodriguez, and now Alba's received the ball back. He's looking to put this ball into the center. Drives across to the far post, but Vidal unable to get a head on it. It was behind him, and Bailey is able to collect this and play it out to Brandt. Rafinha went in really hard on Julian Brandt, and he could find himself in trouble here. He does. It is a booking. It was a poor challenge from the Brazilian right back. The scissor-style action of his legs, it's always going to find you in trouble nowadays. That's his 4th yellow card of the season. 1 booking away from an accumulation suspension. Well, as an experienced pro like Rafinha, I feel like he knew that he'd be booked for a challenge like that. Brandt just walking off the soreness a little bit. The scissor action of the legs is exactly what will always get you in trouble. Brandt feeling the full force of that challenge from Rafinha. Leverkusen looking to bring this down. They can't. Vidal and now Ribery breaking away for Bayern. He's found Muller in the center. Muller cutting away. Finds Robin. Robin looking to cut onto that left foot of his. It's deflected. It's come for Vidal. Vidal's shot blocked away by Bender. Can Bellarabi reach this? Bellarabi does. Havertz does not. Martinez just tries to hold it in, but it is a throw Leverkusen's way. The referee just trying to keep things civil here. He's already handed out 4 bookings, 2 to each team. It'll be interesting to see how the second half unfolds. Both right backs booked. You could definitely see that they'd be a target to try to get that second yellow. Both teams will look to exploit that. Bellarabi looking infield, finds Core. And Ta eventually plays it back to Leno. Leno chips it forward. Brandt flicks it on. Volin looking to get onto it. Sula did give him a little bit of a push, but adjudged to be a fair one. And Ulrich able to boot long for Bayern. Rodriguez looking to get on the end of this, but Bailey cuts out the pass. That's how Munich restart with a throw. Alba put under pressure by Bellarabi. Looks to get around him with a flick. Ribery unable to hold it in, and Leverkusen looking to get down the field quickly as we approach that 45-minute mark. Can't imagine there will be much time added on, probably about a minute. Bellarabi dispossessed in the end by Alba. That's Martinez surveying the field. And the whistle's gone for halftime. No added time. 45 minutes, all we've played in the first half. So without any added time, it is 1-0. Bayern Munich lead Bayer Leverkusen. Javi Martinez scores off of a second ball in the box, off of a corner. And that is where we stand. Chances at both ends for both teams. In the end, it is Leverkusen who are looking up at Munich in the table and in this game. It'd be interesting to see if Leverkusen can turn it around, particularly quality performances coming from Leon Bailey so far for Leverkusen, but he has been a small bright spot in what has been a performance lacking that cutting edge. And Bayern, although they were put under pressure for large parts of the first half, lead because they provided that quality at the exact moment that it was required. So, professional performance so far from Bayern. And it is 1-0 to the leaders from Bavaria. We are at halftime. Bayern lead Bayer Leverkusen 1-0. It is all to play for in the second half. Anything could happen. And I hope that you'll join me for that second half after I take a break for halftime. So be sure to get a refill on whatever drink, whether that's a nice afternoon beer or a coffee at the office. Go ahead and refill, and I'll be back in about 15 for all of your second half action. This is Two Red Gringos Amateur Announcing. I'm Phil Bakke, and I'll see you in a little bit. We are back underway here for the second half of Leverkusen versus Bayern. Bayern leading 1-0 through Javi Martinez. Leverkusen looking to rectify that straight away. It's important to note that Leverkusen have not lost at home this season. As Wendel's cross blocked out by Alba. No changes made for either side. Leverkusen looking to put the pressure on straight away, and you know Heiko Herrlich went absolutely bonkers in that dressing room because he knows how important this game is for Leverkusen's season if they want to stay in the top 4 race and make that Champions League spot. They're going to want to get out of that number 4 spot. It is not a good place to be. Liverpool showed Hoffenheim how bad it is to finish 4th in the Bundesliga. You face some tough matchups. And the fans here just causing a little bit of a stoppage. A whole lot of toilet paper has been thrown on the field. Like, a weird amount of toilet paper is on the field, and they are opting to clean it up before continuing play. So we'll see some stoppage time at the end of the half. Fans continuing to throw it on. Javi Martinez pictured there. He did grab the difference-making goal for Bayern in the first half. As Bayern subs get warmed up, but as it stands, they won't need any reinforcements now. It'll be Leverkusen who will be looking to turn this around. They definitely won't want their home record this season to end. Did not play poorly in the first half, that's for sure. Important to note that they did have some good chances. Try to get a little too intricate there. You can see Leverkusen's bench there in that graphic. There are some exciting options on the bench for Leverkusen. But they're looking to get through this second half with their starters. Brandt nearly on the end of that, but Bayern able to play it down, and Rodriguez sprays it wide. Cut out well by Wendel. He read that pass really well. He's looking for his options. Played off of the feet of Rafinha. Throw in to Brandt. Wendel pushes it in towards Bailey. Martinez dives in and wins the ball. Ball up in the air. Unable to be collected by Ribery. Bellarabi looking to run at the French winger, but Ribery does his defensive duties well this time. Finds Muller ahead of him. Ribery with the return ball to Muller, but it's overcooked and German striker unable to get on the end of it. Opening minutes of the second half have been cagey, as were the opening minutes of the first. Both teams just trying to get that advantage over their opponent, but neither able to establish any real fluid possession. Started essentially as the first half did, and Rodriguez able to collect this ball now. Sprays it wide for Robin. Robin with a little bit of space. Bailey tracking back, but Robin's ball in, doesn't find a willing runner, and it's cleared in the end by Bender. Wendel looking to boot this downfield. He does find Bailey. More toilet paper hurled at the Brazilian left back. Voland sliding in there on Martinez, but made no contact with the Spanish midfielder. Definitely needs to be careful, though. Voland among those booked in the first half, 2 from each side. Voland and Bellarabi booked for Leverkusen, Muller and Rafinha booked for Bayern. So very symmetrical bookings, the strikers and the right backs. As Ribery getting forward, Muller looking for the return pass to Ribery, and eventually offside given against Muller. Muller questioning the decision, but take another look. He did stray just offside. Good call by the linesman. But a long ball forward by Leverkusen goes all the way back to Ulrich, and they'll look to play out the back. Bayern looking to turn defense into attack. Ribery's gone infield. He finds Rafinha. Rafinha flicks it forward for Robin. Robin's touch is loose, though. Cleared by Wendell. Finds Bailey. Brandt unable to maintain possession under pressure. There's Boateng, who dispossessed the promising attacking midfielder. Leno makes a vital intervention as Ribery was looking to run onto that one. Alaba collects the clearance, though. Leno with a great punch. Leno more or less the reason that Leverkusen are still in the DFB Pokal. He made a few stunning saves in that game just before the Christmas break. He'll be asked to do more here against Bayern. Vidal's pass drags Ribery out wide, though. Alaba and Ribery looking to work something, and they may have done. Ribery gets past his man, but dispossessed in the end by Bellarabi. A good challenge by the right back. Really the attacker turned right back in Bellarabi's case. Bayern opting to play all the way back to Ulrich again to restart. I don't think either team would describe this as their best game, but that is a good tackle by Leverkusen. They're getting forward through Volin. Volin brought down by Martinez, and a foul is given in the end. He had Brandt running in front of him, excuse me. And it will be a free kick to Leverkusen just outside of Bayern's penalty area. Martinez just kind of barging over Volland. What can Leverkusen work from this free kick? There's a lot of options. Ulrich giving the directions to his defense, but Brandt stands over it. Brandt and Bailey eyeing up this free kick, just choosing what to do. It does look like it's Brandt who will take it, but Bailey remaining an option. Bayern trying to form a line on the edge of the penalty area. It is Brandt to take. He went for goal, and it nearly came through for Bender. It deflected off a Bayern player, and it will be a corner. He opted to go direct for goal, and it was Rodriguez in the wall who blocked it away. And it was a vital intervention in the end, because that was well on target and would have given Ulrich a problem. But the subsequent corner finds Bender at the far post. He chips it back across, headed away, and now Ribery's running away. Bellarabi with a vital intervention, brought down by Bailey. Bailey's out on the right now. Bailey running into the penalty area, shapes the shoot with the left shot, and it comes off of the crossbar. Oh, Leon Bailey nearly with a wonder goal. My word, what a shot in the end by Leon Bailey. He shaped to shoot on his left. They had switched flanks following the set piece, and he nicks the crossbar. Very nearly a brilliant equalizer for Leon Bailey, and you can see the anguish. He thought he had given his team a route back into this match. But now Bayern headed back the other way through Robin. Robin does well to avoid the interests of the Leverkusen defense. In the end, Rodriguez needs to spray it wide, but Ribery, running at Leverkusen's defense, lays it off for Alba to drive into the box, too near Leno. Leno catches cleanly, as you'd expect. Leon Bailey looks a fantastic prospect for Leverkusen, having joined from Genk. If you weren't around for the first half, Bailey's journey into Europe took him from Jamaica to Austria, played some youth football in Austria, then to Slovakia, then to Belgium, and now to Germany, and he's proven a absolute revelation. But Robin cutting in from that right wing as expected, and it's come to Muller! Just wide. Thomas Muller, always deadly in and around the penalty area, and from the edge of the area, he had dispossessed Bender, and on the turn took the shot on with his left foot, dragged it just wide of Leno's left-hand post. Well, opportunities at both ends, and that's really defined this game. There has just been some absolutely breathtaking football on display, and Leon Bailey striking the crossbar just a couple of minutes ago in what has been Leverkusen's best chance of the half, as Rafinha plays a wayward pass out for a Leverkusen throw. His Brazilian counterpart, Wendell, does throw it in, and it eventually works itself back out for another throw for Leverkusen as Benjamin Henrichs looks set to come on. Karim Bellarabi would be the fairly obvious choice in terms of replacement if Benjamin Henrichs is to take his preferred right back role, but we'll see who will be sacrificed. But Leverkusen storming forward here. Brandt going down the left, running at Rafinha. Shapes to cross. It finds Bellarabi on the edge of the area. Bellarabi looking to put in a cross of his own. It's deflected and into the hands of Sven Ulrich. Some claims for handball there by the crowd on David Alaba. We'll have to take a look at the replay, though. He was on the far side of the field. I definitely didn't see it strike a hand, but the ball certainly took a ricochet. See if it came off of the body or the hand, but both of these teams certainly with the ability and willingness to attack, as Rodriguez plays a great ball out for Ribery. Ribery getting forward. Ribery with a chance here from the shot, and he scores! Frank Ribery, with his first Bundesliga goal of the season, has given Bayern a 2-0 lead, and what a time to score it, because Leverkusen were looking threatening. He runs to the away fans. They're overjoyed. Well, it's nothing more than you'd expect from Frank Ribery given his track record, but given this season, it's been a struggle. He hasn't scored in the league up till now, and just like that, he scores at exactly the right moment for his club. He was running at taut. Things were always difficult. Was Robin offside, and did he affect the goal? I would say Leverkusen supporters will certainly question it. Did he unsight? I have to be honest. I think that goal is questionable. It's not questionable by the old rule, but by the new rule. Certainly is in Leno's way as the ball flies through, but in the end it is given. Will VAR come into play? Not as of yet. Leverkusen now have a mountain to climb. This will certainly be difficult to overcome, and Henrichs has been introduced. Bellarabi substituted, the young German taking his more experienced counterpart's place at right back, and Henrichs immediately putting the ball into the danger area, and Bayern able to bring this down. Rafinha goes down off the ball. Advantage played Bayern's way. And Boateng sprays a long pass out towards Ribery, the goal scorer. Now Henrichs making a meal of things, and he's allowed Boateng in behind, but Bender able to clear the cross fairly simply. Leverkusen just looking a little flustered here, and Henrichs played into trouble there by Brandt. They'll need to sort things out very quickly, or this could get ugly. We've crossed the hour mark here in Leverkusen. 2-0 Bayern lead. They open the scoring in the first half through Javi Martinez as Wendell fouls Rabble there. Bayern with the free kick, but they opened the scoring through Javi Martinez off a set piece, but the second goal was all about Frank Ribery. Frank Ribery's first Bundesliga goal of the season comes in the second half, if you can even believe it. I can't imagine you could find a Bundesliga season or even a league season that Ribery's played in where he hasn't scored till the second half. Oh, but Bailey with a brilliant touch. Bailey to Volland. Volland just wide. It is deflected behind for a corner, but oh my word, Leon Bailey. What a talent Leverkusen have. And he found Volland in the box, and Volland a whisker away from getting Leverkusen right back into it. Leverkusen with a good response. Their fans supporting them. They're all in the box for this corner. They'll all want to get on the end of it because they know if they don't score soon, well, it's a foregone conclusion. Bailey, who created this chance, will take the corner. Drilled in towards the far post, but cleared by Bayern. Definitely not the ball that Bailey was looking for. I know plenty have raved about Leon Bailey in the first half, but look out in the second. He looks absolutely up for it. Bailey playing another ball through for Havertz, cleared behind by Sula. It's out for a throw. Henrichs pushing forward to take it. Henrichs with a loose touch, cut out by Bayern. Bayern dropping a little bit deeper now that they have the 2-goal cushion, but they are having to absorb some pressure here. Brandt, he's dropped out to the left wing. Him and Bailey just trying to create some dilemmas here. For the Bayern defense. Ta now getting down the right wing. Tries to play in Henrichs. Henrichs able to play the ball off of Alaba, and it will be a corner again for Leverkusen. Henrichs did well there. Alaba a bit naive, drawn into that touch by Henrichs, and it will be a corner. Bailey will go across the take, and it will be Lucas Alario now. There will be a change for both sides. So we've already seen Henrichs come on for Bellarabi, and now Lucas Alario will come on for Dominic Kor. That is a absolutely attacking change. We see basically an entire shape change from Heiko Herrlich and Leverkusen. Kingsley Coman will come on for Bayern. But as we see Lucas Alario introduced, it's Arjen Robben to come off for Kingsley Coman. But Kor coming off for Lucas Alario. That is a striker. Make no mistake. So we see essentially a 4-4-2. That ball goes in to the mix. Martinez able to head it away for Bayern. Held in by Henrichs. Comes for Bailey. Bailey unable to beat his man, though, and it's played out for a throw for Leverkusen. Comes straight back into Bender. Handball given against Muller here. Muller already booked. It's an accidental handball, though, so it's merely a free kick. Yeah, Bender played it high. Both went in kind of with a high boot. And so Lucas Alario on for Leverkusen, in addition to Benjamin Henrichs, who had already been introduced. And now Leverkusen have a free kick. Alario will look to get on the end of this. Core off for Alario, and that is a signal that they are going for it. Bailey curls it towards the far post, but it is over everybody. Would have wanted better. I think now we'll take another look at the Ribery goal. So it was an initial flick on header from Robin that found Rodriguez. He played a good pass out to Ribery, which put him one-on-one with Ta, and in the end he beat Bernd Leno at his near post, and I think he gave the eyes that made it look like he was going to try to curl one into that far corner and just opted for the near post finish, and it was as deft as you'd expect from the veteran Frenchman. But again, his first Bundesliga goal of the season, him and Martinez both. But now Sula with a little bit of a naive pass that nearly puts Bayern under pressure, but in the end out into touch by the German defender. Ta and Havertz unable to get past Bayern's middle bank of four that they're playing with now. Havertz brings in down this throw in. Bender looking to create space for Henrichs, but can't do it. Rodriguez now out wide to Coman. The game's become stretched, and this will favor Bayern. Bayern looking to get past on the counter, a deft little flick looking for Coman, but Ta does really well to cut it out and eventually spray the ball out wide to Havertz. But Henrichs' clearance cut out by Martinez. Bayern certainly not going to sit back. Oh, and now a foul given against Kevin Volland. He's another one who's been booked, but interested to see that. Well, when the foul was given, my initial gut told me that he had gotten the ball, but referee judged that it was unfair, and Bayern in possession now. Leverkusen able to win that header. Bailey charging forward. Dispossessed in the end by Martinez. Martinez has done his defensive duties brilliantly today. But Leon Bailey has looked absolutely the most dangerous player in Leverkusen's lineup. The rest of his teammates need to match his level if they want to get back into this game. It does kind of make you think, though, what if Raheem Sterling had chosen to play for Jamaica instead of England? That would be some team in the future. Raheem Sterling and Leon Bailey on the wings. As much as I hate Sterling for the way he left Liverpool, obviously. But Leverkusen back in possession. They've got 20 minutes left as we cross the 69-minute mark. Can they find a route back into this game? Not that way. Long diagonal cut out by Rafinha. And the cushioned header back to Ulrich, who distributes with a throw out to Alaba. Sula and Martinez exchanging passes, but again, Bayern are going to be happy to sit back. No pressure to get forward with the 2-goal lead. But Brandt and Bailey in possession now. Can Leverkusen's Wonder Kids create something here? Bailey's ball through, not tracked by Volland. But it's come out here for Havertz. Havertz out wide. Volland shaping for the shot. It's deflected and in. Kevin Volland for Leverkusen. And it is 2-1. And we have a game on here with 20 minutes to go. Kevin Volland, the product of 1860 Munich, Bayern Munich's crosstown rivals, brings Leverkusen back into this game. The deflection certainly helped it on its way through, but it was on target, and it will be Volland's goal. It was the deflection off of Sula's thigh, which sent Ulrich the wrong way, but in the end, I think it will stand as Volland's goal, his 10th goal of the season. And he is now officially alone at the top of the scoring charts of the Bundesliga for German players. It's now Vidal back the other way, finds Alaba. Alaba blasts over from the left wing. Well, we're in for a good end to this one. Ulrich unlucky to be defeated by that deflection. But Heiko Herrlich will back his team to get back into this. They are unbeaten at home, remember. So the stats show that they may actually find the equalizer in these last 20 minutes, but they still have their work cut out for them. That's only the 12th goal that Bayern has conceded this Bundesliga campaign. Bayern looking to play out from the back here. Well won in the air by Bender. The long ball from Ulrich. Bailey with the back pass, which Koeman nearly latched onto. It does find its way back to Leno. And Pat, I think you rock. All right? How's that? How's that for you? One of these days I'm going to find out how to be able to do Skype over this as well. There is a way, but I think there's one more piece of gear that I need, and I'd love to not add any gear to what I've already done, but yeah, so I got to find a way to get you onto the calls, especially for Liverpool games. But in the meantime, Leverkusen getting forward down the right. Henrichs looking for the right ball, the German international. Appeals for handball against Alba, but it will be a corner for Leverkusen. Lucas Alario just jabbing Alba a bit there, with verbally only. No jabs. He's pointing some fingers in the middle there. Lucas Alario, having joined in the summer, hasn't gotten a big chance at Leverkusen, but maybe he'll get his chance today. Leon Bailey is across to take this. The outswinger towards Ta. Just wide. And it was actually Sven Bender at the far post who made the decisive contact. He just directed it wide. I think he was kind of put off by his own player as they both let for it. Bender kind of turned away. If he heads it back where it came from, he has a better chance. Oh, and Pat, you've got plenty of talent. You only have to be as good as, the Neville brothers for color commentary. Bayern just looking a little nervous now. Leverkusen have pushed for that equalizer ever since the goal from Volland. I haven't seen it given another way, and I think Bayern will feel a lot more comfortable if they get a third. That will more or less put the game out of reach, I think, for Leverkusen. Leverkusen looking to preserve an unbeaten record at home in the Bundesliga this season. Well, in all competitions, I should say. Unbeaten. Wendell, long searching ball forward. Alario heads it on. Bailey will keep it in. Bailey with a cross. Cut out by Boateng and eventually cleared. Coleman unable to bring it under control, and Rafinha has to opt for a shorter pass to Martinez. Martinez's pass cut out, and it's Havertz striding forward, and it's a chance here for Voland. It's deflected again behind. Voland was in, and he couldn't get it over Ulrich. Really poor pass in the midfield by Javi Martinez, who actually gave Bayern the lead. The pass across to Havertz was intelligent, but Voland unable to finish. Voland would have backed himself to score. The leading German scorer in the Bundesliga. No, not Aaron Neville. Damn it. Anyways, Bailey puts this one into the box, punched away by Ulrich. Headed down by Rodriguez. Alaba. Long crossfield ball. Nowhere near Vidal. And one more change in the works for Leverkusen. It'll actually be Julian Brandt, the every window Liverpool target, who will be sacrificed for Admir Mehmedi. So Brandt off, Mehmedi on. The last roll of the dice from Heiko Herrlich. Another chance going forward here. It's Havertz! Oh my God. Just high and wide. And it was actually Alario who ended up on the end of that one. It was Havertz who played the ball infield, and Alario on his left foot just misses the top left corner. I thought that was the equalizer. Well, I put my head down for a second to take notes, and all of a sudden Leverkusen are on, and with a good chance from about 20 yards. I thought that was in. It was a good shot in the end, but just wide. Sula now finds Coman. Coman with a nice touch. Muller back to Coman. Coman crosses. Blocked well. And then one of the Bender brothers brought down in the end by James Rodriguez. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. No, just kidding. So Sandro Wagner will be introduced. It'll be Frank Ribery, the goal scorer, who is sacrificed. Sandro Wagner coming on for Bayern. It is his debut. He is one of those forwards who wears an unconventional number, so number 2, but he is a striker, not a right back, as that would suggest. So Sandro Wagner on for Bayern. It is his club that he got his start with, and he's gotten the move back to his boyhood club from Hoffenheim, where he was most recently. Sandro Wagner burst on the scene a couple of years ago with Darmstadt, winning promotion back to the Bundesliga, and had a storming season back in the Bundesliga. Since his move to Hoffenheim, he's done well, but he certainly would have liked to improve upon the 4 goals that he has scored so far this term. Probably expected more. Mark Uth has scored the majority of Hoffenheim's goals. He was tied for top German scorer in the Bundesliga with Voland, but his 9 is now inferior to Voland's 10, which Voland had scored in this game. Wagner with his first touch of the game off that throw-in, trying to flick things on, and his clearance in the end just not coming down for him, and he is able to clear. Coman unable to get on the end of it, though. It's a little bit disjointed in midfield so far. Wagner certainly finding himself in an odd position. Probably thought he'd start in this game. All of Heinke's pre-match comments sort of alluded to the idea that Wagner would get the start, but instead Wagner coming off the bench with about 11 minutes to go as we cross the 80th minute mark now. So there will be 10 more minutes for Wagner to try to make a decisive difference here for Bayern by adding that third, but primarily asked to provide defensive duties as Muller's dropped out to the right wing. And he's been found with this free kick. Wagner with his first offensive touch, dispossessed. Leverkusen on the counter. There is a foul in midfield as Martinez brings down Mehmeti. Mehmeti's first real involvement in the game is to earn that free kick right on the halfway line. Now a long ball forward may find Voland, but instead Ulrich is out to claim. More good midfield play. Henrichs wins possession for Leverkusen. It may come for Voland, but it's cleared from Sula only as far as Henrichs. Henrichs with a chance. Drops it off for Voland. Voland's cross blocked away by Vidal. It will be a throw for Leverkusen. Leverkusen putting Bayern under pressure here, there's no doubt. Henrichs will restart with the throw. Can Leverkusen find that equalizer in the last 10 or so minutes plus stoppage time? Henrichs with a long throw into the box. Alario unable to get to the end of it. It does come out for Wendell. Wendell unable to find Mehmeti on the edge of the area. And now Muller restarting with a long ball headed away by Ta, but Koeman is onto it. It was a loose header. Ta makes up for his error, though, in the end. His clearance only goes to Rodriguez, and Bayern now able to get their first meaningful possession of the last few minutes. Long ball forward from Boateng finds Rodriguez down the right. Rodriguez shaping for the cross. It's over everyone. And out for a goal kick. Well, Leverkusen, has to be said, have had some chances here. Voland's in particular, as Alario chases that long ball from Ta, but Ulrich out to claim. Leverkusen have had the chances, but they just haven't been able to capitalize. Kore's chance in the first half was Leverkusen's best as Wagner fouls Ta. Leverkusen start with a short free kick. Ta chips it out. Chested down by Voland, but out for a throw. Leverkusen have put up a fight today. 2 moments, really. Bayern haven't created a whole hell of a lot, but they've taken their opportunities. That's what makes them champions. But can Leverkusen maintain that unbeaten run at home? It is an impressive one, and Alario with a loose touch has to do better. The striker, as Bayern play it back to Ulrich. Really poor, and Voland would have been offside if he played that. Ulrich's ball forward was cut out in midfield, but as it came back in, Voland would have been offside if he had touched it. Looked like he may have been fouled by Wagner, but nothing given by the referee. Alaba chipping it forward. Koeman, who's now out on the left wing. Looked like it came off Alaba last, but it is a Bayern throw. Only about 5 minutes of regular time remaining. Interesting to look. There's all kinds of former Hoffenheim involved in this Bayern side, and Alba looks to get past Henrichs, can't do so. Henrichs burst on the scene this summer with a wonderful performance for Germany in the Confederations Cup. Is a really good intervention there by Ta. Gets things clear, and then a chip ball back forward by Bayern, unable to be brought under control by Vidal, and then Vidal eventually boots it clear into touch. Wendell restarts. The chest from Alario eventually works its way to Havertz. Havertz playing in a much freer midfield role right now. He was on the right wing to start, but he's playing a bit more central, a bit more free-flowing now, and he's back on the ball. Nearly finds the right ball through to Kevin Volland, but cut out by Bayern. And Bayern showing now why they're so difficult to beat. They take what little opportunities they have. If the other team can keep them from creating a lot, then they take the couple of opportunities they get, and then they are really tough to break down. If it weren't for the deflections on the first goal from Kevin Volland, Ulrich may not have been beaten. And now Bayern creating something down this left-hand side. Alaba with options in the center. Will it come from Muller? Muller meets it with his head, heads it down for Rodriguez. And it's wide. Well, you would have expected better from the Colombian playmaker. It was a lovely cushion header, as we're used to hearing in Liverpool land. But as Rodriguez came onto it with his left foot, he just never looked likely to score. That could be the difference that confidence makes. James Rodriguez, again, only the 2 goals this whole season. Far from his swashbuckling best at that World Cup, where he looked like anything that he came up with in his mind he could do. Didn't matter how ambitious. It's Wagner pressing Leverkusen's back line, and Wendell in particular. But Ta able to come away with it, and Leverkusen are going to push in these last few minutes. It's Havertz. He's in the area. Havertz looking to cross. He's dinked it in towards Alario, who challenges with Ulrich, but Ulrich catches. Needed to keep it further away. Ribery yelling at his teammates. Ribery's been substituted, remember, for Sandro Wagner. Ribery's goal, the difference right now. After a vintage run down the left, a cut onto his right foot, and a finish inside the near post. It's proving the difference as it stands. As Bayern gained possession after some head tennis in midfield. Looking to settle things down here. Only a couple minutes of regular time to play, but a loose pass there by Alaba. Henrichs coming away with it. Unable to get past Vidal. They thought it was a handball, and handball given in the end against Vidal. Leverkusen playing it out from the back, but they have to find a way forward and quickly. There is not going to be a ton of added time. There haven't honestly been that many stoppages. I'd be surprised if it's more than 3 minutes. That ball through, looking for Alario, not able to find him, but Havertz collects. Volin and Mehmeti competing. Mehmeti unable to bring that ball under control. Alaba is, and Coleman turns. He's got options infield. It's Rodriguez. Rodriguez looks like he may shoot. Brought down on the edge of the area, though. He's brought down on the edge of the area, and it will be a free kick from about 21 yards. I don't know how much contact was made. We'll see here now in the end, and it was Sven Bender tracking back, who did make contact with that trailing leg. And you'd have to think Rodriguez would be one of the It will be 4 added minutes. I would have thought 3 would be enough, but there was no added time at the end of the first half, so that could contribute. This is a big moment. Rodriguez standing over the free kick. And he dinks it in, and it's in! James Rodriguez with the goal for Bayern, and what a goal from the free kick. He earned the free kick, and he's dispatched it absolutely brilliantly. Well, that's the type of quality that Bayern would have expected from the Colombian, having signed him on loan from Real Madrid. Oh, it's wonderful. A sumptuous free kick. Everything about it absolutely spot on. He didn't need any power to beat one of the best goalkeepers in the Bundesliga, Bernd Leno. All it took was perfect placement and the right curl, and he found both. What a goal from James Rodriguez that has just sealed the 3 points for Bayern, and there will be a change here for Bayern. Corentin Tolisso will be introduced for the last few minutes. Thomas Muller brought off. He hands the armband off to Jerome Boateng as he applauds the traveling support from Bayern. Muller's contribution, not of his normal goal scoring type, but put in quite a shift up front. Nearly had a goal, but Tolisso brought on in his place just for the last couple of minutes of stoppage time as we cross the 92-minute mark. 2 minutes left of added time to be played. It's an absolutely brilliant goal from James Rodriguez that's given Bayern this advantage. Things were looking a little dicey for the Bavarians at 2-1 after Volland scored to break the clean sheet, but in the end it's a piece of pure quality that's wrapped up the 3 points for delivery back to Bavaria. Leverkusen have their unbeaten run broken by the reigning champions and current leaders, Bayern Munich. The Bayern unable to halt Bayern's run of dominance, and Bayern actually break a four-game losing streak at the Bayern. They've broken the voodoo due in large part to, one, the play of their goalkeeper Sven Ulrich, but also the couple of moments that they've needed, and when called upon, James Rodriguez, who hasn't provided the quality that I think he anticipated this season, curls a beauty of a free kick into the top corner past Leno, and that is full time, and that is it, and that is 3 points for Bayern. They've come to a tough place to play against a very good team, and they've come away with the win for the first time in 4 visits. Martinez opened the scoring with a nice reaction off a deflected corner. The second goal, a vintage Ribery strike. Volland scored for Leverkusen with a deflected strike past Ulrich, but it was not enough to get back into the game. And then James Rodriguez with an absolutely brilliant free kick to seal the game for Bayern, and they extend their lead at the top of the Bundesliga to 14 points. They look like they've overcome one of their tough tests this season, a place where they haven't gotten a lot of joy the last 4 years. But they overcome that. And you can see why they are the perennial champions of Germany. They're tough to break down. They survive the tough moments. And when asked, they get the required quality out of their players to seal the points, and they've done just that. So as we bring this edition of Two Red Gringos amateur announcing to a close, it is Bayern 3, Leverkusen 1. I hope you've enjoyed this edition. Be on the lookout for more stuff from the Two Red Gringos. Check out tworedgringos.com. Follow us on Twitter at Two Red Gringos. And be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you like what you hear, and you'll get all of the notifications necessary to follow along with all of the content from Two Red Gringos. So with that, this has been Phil Bakke. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon.